Hi, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to show you how I refinished a coffee and end table set and all the mistakes I made along the way. A number of years ago, my wife's aunt gave her these two end tables and a coffee table. They've seen a lot of abuse over the years, so I told my wife I could spruce them up with a new coat of finish. My original plan was to clean the furniture and put on a couple coats of tinted shellac. First I rubbed them down with some steel wool, then I wiped them off with a clean rag and some denatured alcohol. Next I brushed on shellac tinted with dark walnut transtant dye. I wanted them to be a little darker in color to match some new furniture we were buying. This was my first mistake. I should have tested the tinted shellac on the bottom of one of the pieces to see how it looked. It turned out way darker than I wanted, almost black. At this point I'm thinking, it's not exactly what I wanted, but we'll live with it for now. We want to replace the furniture in the near future anyway, so freshening up the finish was just a temporary measure. After the finish dried, I discovered that the tops of the tables had turned crazed and crackly. I had assumed that the shellac would stick to the original finish without problems, since shellac is known for sticking to just about anything. This was my second mistake. Apparently there was something in the original finish that interacted with the shellac or denatured alcohol. Interestingly, this only happened on the tops of the tables, not on the sides. I couldn't stand looking at this every day, so I decided the only thing to do was strip the finish completely and start from scratch. It took lots of denatured alcohol, elbow grease, and time. There's many nooks and crannies on these tables, which made it very time consuming. I used a Viva type paper towel, which worked well, and they're much cheaper than all the rags I would have had to use. I can't stress enough how long this took. If I had to estimate, probably over 12 hours, and about a gallon of denatured alcohol. Some parts of the old finish really didn't want to come off. I even tried using naphtha, which is supposed to cut through almost anything, but it did nothing to the old wax and whatever else was dried on there. Using a stripper like Citrus Strip probably would have made more sense. That's mistake number 3. Eventually I decided they looked as good as they were going to, so I moved on to applying some new finish. I used Danish oil with the thinking that if the tables started looking beat up again, I could easily apply another coat. Some parts of the furniture had a cloudy look after applying the oil, which suggested to me that there was still some old finish left on that was preventing the oil from sinking in. I used some steel wool on these areas, which quickly removed the cloudiness. I applied 4 coats of the oil. My routine was apply the oil, rub everything with steel wool, wipe off with a clean towel, and allow to dry for 24 hours. The first 2 coats I didn't do a good job cleaning off the little bits of steel wool left behind, so some are still visible if you look closely. That's mistake number 4. The grain on the tops looks really nice and is actually visible for the first time in many years. They don't match our new furniture exactly, but still look pretty nice alongside them. In the end I was happy with the way the tables turned out, which is good because I invested way too much time into them. I think it would have taken me less time to build a new set of tables than to refinish these, but oh well, live and learn. In my next video I'll be showing you how I made this simple, lightweight sawhorse from a single 2x4. Sign up for my email newsletter to be notified when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Take care.